welcome to the Sales and Marketing for Decorators podcast with me, John Mears. And again, this week, I am joined by, here we go, Trev, you ready for this? The wonderful, beautiful, fantastic decorator, Dulux Decorator of the Year, 2000 and something.
1960.
Wearing a beautiful Caparol hat today. Paint shop, home of Caparol Paints.
You got it.
Trevor Mangan, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good, and I've noticed you put out the first podcast where I'm looking like a scrap metal dealer for some reason.
Yeah,
that was the first week when it was freezing, wasn't it? Do you remember that week? It was that cold snap. That's why I've got 2 sweatshirts and a cap on.
Remember we recorded 2 that week, so
yeah. We've got another one coming as well.
Same.
What a delight, you lucky people.
I think you look good. I've joined you with the lockdown haircut this week.
Yeah, exactly. It looks good. I'm liking it.
Oh, thanks.
The missus didn't like it too much, did she?
No, she thinks I look like a thug. Locked up haircut was her comment rather than lockdown hair. She was the one that did it.
Yeah, exactly.
She had grand ambitions of like doing the sides and fading it all in and stuff like that. And before we knew what would happen, whoosh, the whole lot was off. So
it's just easier, isn't it?
It's much easier. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting used to it.
It's easy.
Definitely.
So good stuff.
What I want to talk about this week then, is business coaches.
Okay.
Should decorators, seeing as most of them are sole traders, self-employed, should decorators invest in a business coach? Now, I'm keen to ask you about this because I know that you have recently started speaking to a business coach. So, what do you think, Trev?
Well, I think from the initial chat with him, it is quite a good idea. It does make you look at things a different way. Now, I've sort of got him to help me because I'm planning on doing something a little bit different. So, I think it's quite good because it gives you someone to be accountable to. So if you haven't got done what you set to get done in that week, then if I turn up, it's like being back at school. Why haven't you done it? And I think it's sometimes that's the only reason, the reason I've done it is because I've had a few ideas in the past and not acted on them. And other people have done the little bits that I was going to do. So this time I thought I'd act on it. It's £200 a month, which seems like a lot of money, but if it all works out and he gets me to where I want to be, then it's going to really help rather than me just sit at home with a cup of coffee thinking, oh, shit, I wish I'd done that. I said I was going to do it and now someone else has done it. So I'm going to give it a go, see what happens, and we'll go from there. But, the initial, my missus is not very happy. I told her it's true. Yeah, she said, I hope you're jolly well joking.
It's
replaced jolly well with a well-known French word beginning with F. So so she
I'm all for business coaches, and I've been looking for one myself recently. I think one of the big things is that accountability. I think a lot of decorators will feel the same, that when you go self-employed, and especially if you're a sole trader, it's very easy to not do things, to just find an excuse not to do that little bit of admin or whatever it might be. You come home from a long day decorating, it's very easy to, I'm sure it is, you tell me, it must be very easy to come home, sit down on the sofa and just go, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z tonight. I've worked too hard today. And of course, it's probably the first time in your career that you've not had a boss or anyone to answer to and no one to hold you accountable. So I think business coaches, unless you're supremely motivated and driven, I think business coaches probably pay for themselves. I'm sure they pay for themselves. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a market for them. They wouldn't exist. And from your point of view, if this guy's costing you £200 a month, say you're working 20 days a month, that's £10 a day extra he's got to be worth to cover you. So I think if you find efficiencies in your business and you end up finding higher paying jobs and stuff like that, £200 a month is something that will disappear quite quickly. And I'm sure as a decorator, it's quite easy to measure the results that business coach is giving you. So, yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how it goes for you. Have you've got some plans in place then?
Well, yes, that's what I mean. Like I say, I was going to say to you, you know, some people might say, oh, well, you know, you get your missus, but it's not very fair on your missus to keep giving you a kick up the arse to get stuff done. And really, are they, you know, is she that invested in getting you where you want to be?
Yeah.
And also, it could just lead to arguments, could it? And you think, well, just keep me out for £200. It's, you know, that's quite cheap for a quiet life in my book. But no, I mean, it's good because, you know, we've gone through a few things. We've agreed what we've got to get done for that week, you know, and then so next Monday when I turn up, I need to get that done because I don't want to, you know, really, if I don't get it done, it's a waste of 50 quid. You know,
I think that's it's a good point, actually. It's good to have someone like that you can sound ideas off, because you don't always want to, you know, sound all these ideas off with your missus, because with the best will in the world, she doesn't care about paint as much as I do.
Yeah, I mean,
and like I said, they're not fully invested in it. But a business coach, they're only going to keep getting paid if they start delivering results and start giving you value. So being able to sit down at the start of the week or start of the month or whenever you have the discussions with a business coach and just sit down and have someone to brainstorm ideas with, and then go, right, here's the steps that I need to take this week or this month that are going to get me towards whatever my goal is. And then you've got someone to help you, you know, design that path and that strategy, and then hold you accountable for it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, even talking to him yesterday, it was really good because we're talking about how you go through a job and that, and he said, "Well, where can you make extra sales?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, there's not." He said, "Well, if you're going to go and paint one room," he said, "why can you not ask them while you're there if there's another room to be done?" You know, I said, "Well, that's true." I said, "If you could do 2 rooms, you're going to do 2 rooms cheaper than you can do 1 room because you're working between the 2. You're not waiting for drying times and stuff like that." So, you know,
this is another good thing. It's probably a good thing that you choose a business coach that maybe isn't overly familiar with the industry, because they're going to see something with a fresh pair of eyes. Probably, you know, there might even be they've hired decorators in the past, in which case I think they'd be perfect, because they'd be able to go, right, this is what I liked about this decorator, and this is what was rubbish, and this is what I think could improve in it. And yeah, these business coaches can obviously bring their experience of loads of different industries and pull out all the best bits and you use it in yours.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a very American thing, isn't it? It's a very American to get a business coach. I think but I would never have thought, oh, great. Here we go. Every week, isn't it?
You were so good last week.
I know.
You had your phone on airport mode.
I know, yeah. I didn't put it on airport mode today, did I?
No.
Bloody phone. Right. Turn it off now. But no, it's very American, and like I say, I never thought I'd be using one, but it's the first week, so we'll see how it goes. But I think it started off very well, and like I say, if it gets me to do stuff, because it's like you say, it's so easy just to I'll do it, and then I'll try and do a little bit more, and you've got to be very motivated to actually get it done. So yeah, I mean, even if you're not really want to go down the coach route, I think there's so many ways. I know you listen to loads and loads of audio books.
Yeah,
you know, and I've started doing that. And also, when you're listening to them, just jotting down notes. And it's surprising at the end of a week, if you listen to a couple of audio books, what you've actually picked up and what sort of small differences you can make.
Yeah, I try and physically read a book a week. I'll probably listen to, not so many at the moment, but when I'm driving a lot for my normal job, I can easily listen to 2 or 3 audiobooks. I've also downloaded this app called Blinkist.
I remember you said, how are you getting on with that?
Really good. So Blinkist is, I'm just looking for it now. So it's 50 quid for a year. I'm sure that's how much it costs. 50 quid for a year. And they condense books down into blinks, they call them. Basically, they'll condense a book down to about 10-15 minutes and take the core message from it. So there's there's thousands and thousands of books on there. There's so many books on there that I thought are all those business books that you think, oh, I'll get round to that one day. They're probably a bit dry to read all 400 pages of it. And I mean, I listened to 3 books today, just walking to the shop and back. That's the beauty of it. And you just get the real golden nuggets out of each book. And for 50 quid a year, it paid for itself in the first week because it gave me an idea to do something, which has then led on to new services and different bits and bobs. And I'm always getting ideas for blogs from them and stuff like that. And I think it's a great way, if you're short of time, to consume a lot of quality content, because I think most books you can successfully boil it down to probably 10 or 15 minutes because there's a lot of fluff in most books. Mine being the exception, obviously.
Absolutely. That's just 100% content all the time. But absolutely. No, it is a good way. It's something I've sort of started doing recently, and you'll be surprised how much actually goes in and how much you think, you could, there's some that you get out of, aren't as good as others, but then that's the way life is. But it's
and you've got to just start doing it. I now look back at my 20s where I probably didn't read a book in my 20s. And I look back at that thinking, God, where could I be if I'd have had this sort of hunger and drive for knowledge? If I'd have had stick another 10 years of book reading and stuff like that on, where could I be? But you can't look at it like that. You just got to go, right, well, I've started it now, I'm staying consistent with it, and I'm taking steps to improve myself every day, and you learn something from every book you read. Well,
and also YouTube is a great place as well, isn't it? A great resource for people. I've been following a bloke called Simon Sinek, I think, Senik. Are you familiar?
He's Australian guy.
I think he might be,
but old Ed.
Still not as good as Gary V, but
what's his book called?
I don't know what it is. I've just been watching clips on YouTube, but the good thing with him on YouTube is all his content is quite long. It's like 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, so you can actually I think what I was reading a bit, I was watching a bit this afternoon. I think it's not people buy. I've even made a note of it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, which I thought was quite a good one to go by.
I like that. I'm just looking for him on Google now. It's a different person to what I thought of, so I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, Simon Sinek. But people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. I thought look, I wrote that down, so that's
literally written it down.
Literally, it's like I knew we were going to be talking about it today.
It's something I think some of the best advice that was given to me was, don't get all your advice from one place. So reading loads of different books and seeing things from different angles. And this is something that I think a lot of decorators shy away from. They look at their sales and marketing and finance and business development or whatever, anything to do with like the business side of owning a business, and they think that there's not enough content out there. But there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of books on business and finance and sales and marketing and stuff like that, and all the principles are universal. So taking the time to just start reading any book on sales and marketing, you can apply those principles to your business and start seeing the benefits from it.
Absolutely,
it doesn't have to be a book that's specifically for decorators.
No,
although that book does exist if you want it. It's called Sales and Marketing for Decorators.
And I mean, even if you just start off by, reading a book on sales questions about open-ended questions, and it's just get into it and start. Don't just do it at your own pace, but start doing something is always better than doing nothing, which is always what I say. It's just do something rather than doing nothing.
And I think YouTube is, I don't know about you, but I can go into a YouTube wormhole sometimes, and before you know what, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're watching videos about investing in Bitcoin. You're like, how did I get here? But no, I mean, so many great resources to learn about business and improve yourself and how you operate. I just think it's a complete waste if people aren't taking, using these free services.
Well, there's no excuse not to do it nowadays, is there? It's not like back in the 80s when you had to go to the library and get an encyclopedia out and study. It's just there's no excuse not to be up on your sales and marketing at all now. Really, it's there's you can just get on and do it. But
definitely,
yeah, it's so. So who do you follow then? Who is your sort of? We all know Gary V because we love him because he's just so loud and he does actually tell you like it is, doesn't he? He don't hang about, and so he's quite direct and quite quite outspoken, I think. But who else? Russell Brunson was one of your favourites, wasn't he?
Russell Brunson. I went through a bit of a Russell Brunson phase over the summer, and because my boss actually lent me his 3 books, which I read back to back, and Russell Brunson was great. He's got some brilliant. He's all about sales funnels, and I think a lot of people have heard about sales funnels and what a funnel is and how they work and stuff like that, but don't know the ins and outs of it. He was one of the pioneers for setting it up and in the way he's done it. So I did a lot of reading on him, and he does a lot of free webinars, and he's part of. Obviously, I give away a lot of free content and stuff like that, and then I've got my email lists and everything, which puts you into automated sequences so that I can give you loads of free information and sell the books and stuff like that I've written. Russell Brunson's great for that, and it applies to pretty much any business. His sales funnel as a structure works for pretty much everything. Decorators could use it. In fact, I know there's an exterior coatings customer of mine specializes in just exterior masonry coatings. And he used Russell Brunson's exact salesfunnels.com or ClickFunnels or whatever it's called. He's using that service, and it just completely changed his business. So it works for decorating businesses. He's just, and it turns it into just an automated system where you've got leads coming to you on tap, and then more qualified leads, and they're people that are ready to spend money. So, and a lot of it is based around email marketing, which I'm a big fan of. But I think there's just so much out there, and there's a big thing at the moment where you can get loads of free content, because if you're happy to sign up to a few mailing lists, you'll get so much free content, and you just unsubscribe at some point if you don't want to carry on. But I think it's worth investing.
Well, I mean,
following a few people.
Saying that, you could even set up a Gmail account, couldn't you? So it all goes in there, so it don't actually clog up your main account. So if you set up a Gmail account, get all that sort of stuff going to there, and then just every so often go through that and sort it out. So
and once you start going down that rabbit hole and you start looking for this sort of thing, you'll find, when I go on Facebook, all of my Facebook ads are for like free webinars on marketing and bits about sales and stuff like that. So every day you just go on and go, someone else is giving away a free webinar. You could do a webinar every night if you wanted to and learn something for free. And that's before you even start reading books or going on YouTube or whatever. So there's loads out there. I recommend people get it.
Yeah, those webinars, the only thing is the last quarter of an hour is always the upsell, isn't it? So you just have to be aware of that. There's always there's a free webinar with an upsell at the end, but you can tell when they get into that, can't you? So
exactly.
But I mean, there's still value in watching those, like you say. There's still content and information in those that is useful. They don't reveal the whole picture, but they give you enough to the bare bones to start making you think.
Yeah, that's it. You get loads of free information out of it, and then sometimes I'll sit and watch the sales pitch at the end, because you can get inspiration from it, and you can learn, I see what they've done there, and you start spotting patterns between how people are doing things and go, so and then you think, if I'm going to put together a webinar, I'm going to use that structure. It clearly worked because I've noticed several people using it. So it's you can learn about selling from watching how they're selling. An added bonus on those sort of things.
Yeah. So
Trev, we've done what we usually do. We've sort of strayed away a little bit. Business coaches.
We are within that area. We're bouncing off each side of it, I think.
Yeah. But where are we? We're at 20 minutes, so we're at a good time. But there's a little bit more I wanted to know about.
Okay.
Business coaches, because they range in price a lot, and I think your one is probably at the sort of starter price. And he did.
Yeah, I mean, he did it with £1,000. Yeah,
£1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, well, we need to put the phone down right now, really.
So how did you end up at 200?
I don't know, but the thing is, this is the funny thing. You've got to be careful what you put out there, because I put a video out on LinkedIn. Oh, I can't remember what it was about now. It was a couple of weeks ago. I was ranting and raving about something. Can't remember what it was, but he noticed it and messaged me. Like your video, So anyway, so then we got talking. So yeah, so whether this £1,000 is actually a proper figure or it's fictitious, but he said I liked the video. He said I liked the way you were actually quite passionate about what you're doing. He said you were quite, he said it should be £1,000. So well, yeah, as much as I like to get involved, I can't afford it. I can't justify. No, probably. I can't afford. I can't afford £1,000 a month, because that's just ridiculous. I said so, but somehow we ended up on £200 a month. So yeah,
he asked you for a price that you were uncomfortable with.
This is what he said.
What was his line?
Yeah, that is what he said. Yeah, which I thought was quite good. He said, "How much would you be willing to pay that made you uncomfortably?" What was it? Uncomfortably. We said. I told you what he said before the bloody podcast.
You nailed this before the podcast.
Yeah, I know. And when he said, "What was it? How much would you be willing that made you feel uncomfortably?" I can't remember what he fucking said. Oh, I can't remember what he said now. But it was quite good, because it made you think. Well, yeah. So we said, I said a sort of like 40 or whatever. So he went a little bit more than I was comfortable, because he always said, well, you're obviously going to give yourself a little bit of leeway, so I make it a bit more. That's why, yeah, I can't. As soon as we stop with.
That's an important thing about the pricing is whenever you're doing something like this or training or anything like that, there is sort of a minimum price you should pay. Things like this shouldn't be too cheap, because if they're too cheap, you're quite happy to write it off. You're not invested in it, and you won't get the most out of it. Sometimes you have to pay more to actually get more out of it. I mean, if he said to you, £10 a week coaching, you would, if 50 you missed quid a week, you probably wouldn't be bothered if you missed the odd week.
Yeah.
But at 250 quid a month, you're not going to miss his phone calls, and you're going to get the best out of it. You're fully committed at that. So even at paying £250 or 200 quid a month is probably better for you. You'll get a much better return than if you were paying 50 quid a month. Because 50 quid a month, you probably make no changes, and you'd just be losing 50 quid a month.
And getting no value out of it, or making any progress.
Exactly. You pay £200 a month, you're probably going to get £1,000 of value out of it or more.
Yeah.
So you're much better off. Weird as it sounds, counterintuitive as it sounds, but sometimes with things like this, you are better off spending more and investing more money in it, because then you're fully committed to it.
Yeah. And I was looking at, for some reason, I was looking at courses and how to price courses, and that's what they said about that, was that if you make it, like you say, £20-50, people can afford to lose that sort of money, and then they don't get involved in it. They don't get, but if you make it £200, people think, well, I've spent £200, I'm going to make it work, I'm going to take the time, I'm going to actually get invested in it, and they make more of an effort to get them return on their money, which makes sense, which is exactly what you've just said about the coach. So but I just wish I could remember what he told me.
Not to worry. So, Trev, final verdict then. Business coach for all. Obviously, we know that you've got one, but for all decorators, do you think all decorators or the majority of decorators should look at a business coach?
I think depending on where you are, if you're trying to make a big difference to your business,
yeah.
So if you're trying to, I don't know, if you're going from maybe a one-man band and you want to take on a person, or or you've got a big decision, you're doing a major change in your business, and I think it'd be money well spent to have someone to hold your hand and give you a bit of reassurance and a bit of guidance.
I think so. So if you're ticking along and you're happy and you're booked up and you might be a sole trader and you want to stay as a sole trader, you don't want to get too busy or anything like that, then you probably don't need one. But if you're trying to grow your business or make some changes, then a business coach would be worth the weight in gold. What about for new decorators, someone who's just starting out? Do you think a business coach should be good for guidance on the initial, starting your business and getting your customers?
Yeah, I think maybe. But then again, so you've got that problem, haven't you? If you're just starting out, you've probably not got the money to be able to afford one.
It's more risky as well, because you're spending money that you haven't got.
Yeah.
You're really banking on it working. If it doesn't work, it's end of company, I suppose. Once you're, so I think. What do we think then? So a perfect situation is if you're looking to grow or
I
get
think
more from your
and
business, basically.
And if you're not in a position where you're looking to grow or make a major change, then definitely look into sort of books and audio and video and just start making it, even if you just set aside a couple of hours a day or something, just to actually try and find something new or a different angle, or just try and find something that you can actually use in your business by reading books, or just making that little bit of extra effort, and you'll be surprised at how much you start to notice and pick up and learn new things. So
I think that's good. I think that's the best way in. That's my way in. That's how I know you've been doing a lot more reading and stuff recently, and that's probably what's led to you thinking a business. If a business coach had called you 6-12 months ago, probably would have said no.
No.
So I think everyone should look to start adding some more reading or YouTube, or just looking at the business side of owning a decorating company. And then once you start doing that reading, I think you'll notice what someone like a business coach could bring to your business, and whether you do need one or not.
What price would make it uncomfortably affordable?
He's found it. Bang!
There we go.
I'm not going to edit that back into your stuttering bit earlier, though, because I can't be bothered with all that. All that editing.
It sounds like Ryan and I when we do our podcast. Oh, just leave it in. It'll all
It's got to be uncomfortably affordable.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, and that's it.
I think decorators should say that to their customers. I want this decorating job to be uncomfortably affordable.
Yes, my quote will be uncomfortably affordable. That's perfect, isn't it?
Definitely.
What was that advert age ago? Reassuringly, what was that? Who did that years ago?
Reassuringly expensive.
Yeah, it's that exactly the same, but the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, there's probably people screaming now
exactly.
the radio going what that is, but no, reassuringly expensive. I don't know, we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Uncomfortably affordable. I like that.
Trev, it's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Thank you very much.
Something rather awesome recently, haven't you? You've set up a pricing spreadsheet that you've been your secret pricing formula guide. You're now giving it away. So can you tell people a little bit about that and how they can get it?
Where can they get it from? I don't know actually where they can get it from. Well, they'd have to find me on Instagram and email me, and I'll send them a link. That's the only way. I'm on Insta at TJ Decorating. But message me on Instagram and I'll email you a link. That would be the easiest thing to do. But what it is I've been pricing my work for quite a few years now on a spreadsheet. And recently there's just been a lot of pricing questions I've noticed, and it's sort of like a grey area. It's just sort of, there seems to be a lot of mystery around pricing.
Yeah.
So I just thought, well, I'll send this spreadsheet out. It might help a few people, see how they get on with it. And so I've just given it away for free, and people have, it's been quite popular.
You're being modest. Hundreds of people have taken you up on this offer in like the first 24 hours, haven't they?
Yeah, it has been quite popular.
But it takes the guesswork out of pricing, which is so important for decorators, because the traditional way of pricing that everybody seems to, well, 90% of people go by, is you walk in, you have a look at the job, you work out, you guess how long it'll probably take you to do it. You times that by your day rate, and you add the materials on and a bit of profit. And that is not the best way to price for profit, and it's not the most professional way to do it. And your spreadsheet is essentially you put in the dimensions and stuff like that, and you work out how long it takes to do everything, and it spits out a price which is bang on accurate. There's no end up running a day over or finishing a day early or something. It takes that guesswork out of it.
Because you know that the price. I mean, the basics is that you time yourself to paint a door, paint X amount of skirting, and paint. So you've got the times per meter per square meter of what it takes you to do the job, so that you know. But the idea is not to do it over one job, but to do it over 3 or 4 jobs, because you might be on a job where a customer likes to chat. So you have to include that, and then you might be on a job where you can really get on. So, and just take an average of those 3 or 4 jobs, then put that in the spreadsheet, and then that will give you a rough guide of how quickly you work. So that when you go in, you can know what to charge, how long it's going to take you, how much profit you're making. It's just a far more reliable way than standing in and the other thing is, it's all the bits you don't include in your quotes, like scratch, like masking tape, all this sort of thing, all costs money. Someone's got to pay for it.
Yeah, there's no guesswork in it. Doing it this way is you've streamlined the process, and this is 10, 20 million years of decorating. I don't know how old you are.
And that's
really good.
Also, Also, the other thing is, it's just once you've got the size of the room, you can do a quote in, you can get the price for that room in minutes. It's just, you're not. The other thing,
worrying that you've underdone it or.
The other thing, that's exactly it. The other thing is, you're not sat there thinking, "Oh, should I put another £20 on, or should I take another £20 off?" You know exactly how much. And then if the woman says, or the customer says, "Oh no, don't paint that wall," you can take that wall off the quote and know exactly what you've taken. It's all
spot on. So find Trevor Mangan on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You're pretty much
I will either play. Just find me and
you'll find him. Send him a message, and he'll send you a link to.
I'll send you a link to the
spreadsheet. It's free. It's awesome. Every decorator should be using it. If you want more from me, you can go to my website, jmears.co.uk/ebook, and you can get my free ebook for 7 marketing secrets to grow your painting and decorating business. You can download that for free. Trev, thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure as always, and speak to you again soon.
Yeah, I'd love it. Thank you very much, John.
Cheers, mate. See you.